For example, this is just one effect. A lot of people who have two earner income households, one of the people is going to drop out of the workforce. That's why we're going to have a labor shortage.
If, as you notice, he said the two household, the two income household, one of the people can go home. He didn't say who. She's awesome. She is awesome. Just adorable. You know what I mean? Like, great voice, just comforting, calm, peaceful. I'll tell you, man. Excuse me. I'm a Yankee, so I'm from back east. All right, I'm from Jersey, and I lived in Dallas. Dallas. I lived in Dallas for a while, and I'm gonna tell you something, man. The Southern women, there's something special about them. There really is. So yeah, she's adorable. All right, so enough of that. A little bit of fun, right? Keep the mood light. The world's a dark place right now, and could be getting darker. So anyway, always like to try to start with something kind of light. But let's move on to some news. So what we're going to do is, everybody knows about the AI and the possible job loss. And what's interesting is that they're actually talking about the fact that there could be less jobs and more productivity in the country. Okay, who's that good for? Right now, I'm all for progress, moving forward, making things better. Now, we can look at a lot of our technology and go, I'm not sure it's actually better because of it. But AI, if it takes jobs from people and gives productivity to businesses, corporations, what do the people do? Like, what do we do now? Right? Like, yeah, okay, learn AI. I mean, I like AI. I think it's just a great educational tool. You got to confirm some of the things that you're reading on there, but it's a great educational tool. So much better than the previous Google search, trying to read through articles, find articles, collaborate information. Maybe go on YouTube, watch someone who is, an expert in a field to teach you something. And it was rough. It would take you hours and hours and hours to just put together enough information to understand a topic, where AI, well, you can just break it down and you just ask questions. It's like, you ask it a question, it tells you something, and you're like, okay, that's interesting, but what if this, or what about that? Like, and you just keep going deeper. Like, I love it. I think it's a lot of fun. But what are we going to do if jobs are replaced and productivity increases? Then there's like less use or less of a need for people. And so, yeah, I'm not sure how to look at that. But with that being said, Jeff Bezos recently did an interview, and let's take a listen and see what he says.
I mentioned my optimism a minute ago, and we should definitely talk about that, because I think there's so many people who are afraid that AI is going to take their job. I think that there's going to be a labor shortage as a result. So
let's go there then. Yeah. I wanted to stay in space, but let's go to that, because
we can come back. We can be in space too, whatever you want.
Well, but that's fascinating, because I don't know if you saw, Eric Schmidt gave a commencement address over the weekend.
Yeah.
And the students were booing because every time he mentioned AI, they were booing, because I think they're deeply fearful and worried about whether they're going to have a job.
Yeah, well, and the reason they're afraid of that is because all these smart people keep saying that. So there are so many smart people, and they are smart, and they are saying, oh my God, there are going to be no more radiologists, because AI can read x-rays better than a radiologist can, and there are going to be no more software engineers, because AI can program better than a software engineer can. These people are wrong. So what's really going to happen is that it's going to elevate all of these people, and it's like You've been digging. Let's say you're a software engineer.
Right.
What it's the analogy I can give you is you've been digging out a basement for your house with a shovel, and somebody's about to hand you a bulldozer. You should be so happy. If you're digging the basement to your house and somebody says, "Hey, how about this? I have a tool here that's going to," and what's really going to happen is we're going to have so much productivity in our economy that, for example, this is just one effect. A lot of people who have two-earner income households, one of the people is going to drop out of the workforce. That's why we're going to have a labor shortage. People, because of the productivity gains, you're going to be able to afford things. We're going to have, I predict we'll actually have deflation of certain core, assuming we let this technology play out and don't hamstring it with regulation too early. We will actually have, everything will get, food will get cheaper, and housing construction will get cheaper, and so on and so on.
Is there a transition cost? I mean,
we could even solve the permitting problem I was talking about earlier for housing. Like, it should take, if you are a builder, why does it take you 6 months, 9 months, 2 years, 5 years, depending on what municipality you live in, to get a building permit?
All right, so, I mean, that's interesting. I know they're going into housing and permitting and all that. A little different than just the job market. So, you brought up the radiologist and the software engineer. Okay, you're not really bringing up what AI is going to replace. It's going to replace administrative roles. Okay, if you're in social media management, okay, whatever. So for the company, you do their social media, you're gone. Okay, if there's 5 people doing it, there'll be 1. If there's 10 people doing it, there'll be 1. Those simple administrative jobs, those are going away. And I mean, in my opinion, I think women are going to lose a lot of their jobs because a lot of those jobs are office related. And I think AI can actually replace those, but not necessarily replace the job, just allow less people to do the same amount of work, if not more work, right? But the issue for me is that you say it's going to bring the prices down. So, okay, of food, I don't know. But bring the prices of products down, it could. HR, human resource, is it's the biggest expense on a company's balance sheet the majority of the time, okay? So if you have less people working, you have... it's costing you less to operate your business and create your product or service and bring it to market. Makes sense. So possibly it will give them the ability to lower the price. But what lowers prices is competition. So as long as there's still competition and you still have that company that comes out and wants to offer it at a lower price, which forces the conglomerate that possibly has not necessarily a monopoly, possibly a monopoly, or they just have the biggest market share. So it could actually bring those prices down if they want it to, because it could bring prices down or it could bring margins up for the company itself and for the stockholders. So this is then going to be up to the people that are actually in charge of the allocation of these funds, these additional funds that are going to come online. So I don't know about that. I think the blue collar jobs are going to be fine. Like, AI is probably going to be pretty cool. You probably learn how to do things better. If you're a plumber, electrician, HVAC, roofer, whatnot. So, but you're still going to have raw materials that need to produce the materials that the blue collar guys use. Can AI be effective in drawing those raw materials from the earth in a better way, in a more efficient manner? Is that possible? I don't know. So I'm not completely sure about this, but I do know that if you put a lot of people out of work, what you're hurting is morale. You're hurting their pocketbook, but you're hurting morale. People want to be productive in society. They want to take part in society, and they want to feel productive and feel good about themselves. They also want to have money. so they can go do things, which a lot of people right now can't, and there's a lot more people kind of being pushed down and pushed away from extracurricular activities. So, the AI thing, I think it's positive, but I also don't know how you can then, if, as you notice, he said the two income household, one of the people can go home. He didn't say who. Excuse me. But I think we all know what he means. And it has to be that way. Okay? And I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but that's just the way talking honestly works. Okay? But women losing their jobs, going home, taking care of the family, being in charge of home economics. It used to be a class in school when I was a kid. Home economics. The women were in charge of running the house. And it's a big job. It's a respectable job. Okay? But if we run into an issue where women continue working and men get pushed out of jobs, societally, we got a problem. Because men really need to work. Because men need to build value. And if that is something taken from them, you're going to have a lot of men who don't feel valuable. And men are really good at building things, but they're also really good at destroying things. So this is a very delicate balance that they're playing with. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But to me, it's interesting that we can be more productive with less people working. Fine. But if you have a two-income household and one person's not working, the other person, based on the cost of everything right now, will need a double or triple in pay to actually live comfortably the way that Jeff Bezos is saying. Okay, because if the income stays the same, the cost of everything continues up, and he's saying that in inflation, we will go into deflation. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I'm still letting it dance around in my mind. I just hope that, as a society, I hope that we're okay. I really do, because people need to feel productive in life. It's just very important for us to move forward. So anyway, all right, another video. Tony Renato, Mr. Romance. I know a lot of you are like, what the hell is he talking about? Someday I'll tell you the story. Here's to say, all right, another video. I'm just checking quality. Want to see kind of what everything's looking like. But hey, hope all's well. Live, laugh, love somebody. I know it's a little bit harder now because it's like it's easier to avoid people. But I don't know. We all need a hug at some point. I don't. I'm hugless. All right. I'll see you next time. Ciao for now.